Welcome to the next episode of Elevate Learning Bites. Today we're going to be looking at negotiation skills, and particularly we're going to be looking at the classic positional bargaining negotiation versus non-positional bargaining, and the way that these two can come together to be able to create a good strategy. So let's start with positional bargaining. This is sort of the more traditional style of negotiation that we see. And the first thing that we need to be able to do is make sure that we have a plan. We need to be able to make sure that we know as much about the other party as we possibly can. We need to be able to understand our own needs. What are the things that we must have in a negotiation? What are the things that we can use to be able to negotiate? What's our optimum level, and where is our point to walk away? And so we're able to develop what we call variables and concessions. So these are the different things that we want to package together to be able to negotiate with. And this is when we come to the point where we are beginning negotiation, where we're able to do a bit of give and take. So hence that kind of positional bargaining terminology. It's if you want this, then we can deal with that. All too often, the first thing that somebody goes to in negotiation is price, but there are always multiple areas for negotiation that are open to us to be able to negotiate. And so, the more of these variables and concessions that we can have, things like payment terms or different features and add-ons that we might have with our products or services. So the more of these that we're able to have and package up together, the easier it is for us to be able to negotiate on something other than price, because we want to be able to protect the yield as much as we possibly can. So this is that kind of a little bit more old school positional bargaining that we're talking about. And you'll hear a lot nowadays of this term non-positional bargaining, which is, to me, it's about having a deeper understanding of both your position and your counterpart's position, the people you're negotiating with. And William Murray, in his book Getting to Yes, describes this theory which is called balcony perspective, which is you imagine that you are on a stage and you are negotiating with somebody else who is also on the stage, and you're sitting up in the balcony seats looking down onto the stage and watching this negotiation happen. So it's about being able to be really present and understanding what it is that you're after and what it is that the customer is after. And I have a story about this. I used to work for a company called Proforce, a training and recruitment company, and we used to do a lot of training. We ran this exercise with the delegates in the training, which was about selling orange juice in the desert. It was obviously a made-up exercise, but I loved doing this exercise because I would see the creativity that people would bring to it. Sometimes they just argued. And the idea was that there were two people, and they had $8 to spend, and they were in the desert, and they met up with a juice seller who had 3 cups of juice, and they were $5 each. So you can see that this is set up to fail. No one can really win. It's about how do we actually compose ourselves in the negotiation. And the best examples that I always saw were ones where the money got taken out of the equation and people thought creatively. Part of the setup of this role play was that it was the end of the day. So occasionally I would see people who would come to a solution where they would help the man pack away their store or give him a lift into town after his work had been done. So we're seeing these people kind of starting to think differently about it, not just being about, I want 2 glasses for $4 or 3 glasses for $5 or whatever it is. So we're doing that because we're actually able to think creatively, think about how we can use negotiation to benefit the relationship, because those people are the ones that walked away, and in a B2B, business-to-business situation, they're much more likely to end up doing business again with those people because they've had a fantastic negotiation. Okay, so that's it for us today, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.